Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MPJ New Album Rock Show. I'm Nigel, and welcome to my wonderful crew, to Ian, to Dave, to Chris, and to Trish. Welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone. Morning.
So, apologise for my undulcet-like tones with my head cold, but hey, in the words of many a theatrical person, the show must go on. And if it's your first time tuning in, here's what's about to happen. We're going to pit two brand new albums head to head, rate them out of 5. If they get more than 23, they will automatically get into our Album of the Year show, and that's happening next month, so we're right on the cusp of it. If they get 20 or more, they could get into our Hall of Fame, which is really hard to get into, and maybe one of this panel here might pick them as a wild card to get into our Album of the Year show. Who knows? All will be revealed. Dun dun dun. So, first up today, we have... Oh, boys, it is a mighty battle indeed, isn't it? Because we have two legends of the stage. Two absolutely legends. One, Blink 182 and their album One More Time. Sorry, can resist that. And Rolling Stones and Hackney Diamonds. Well, if you don't know them, you'll never know them. And I will spare you my coughing and spluttering way through some preamble. Let's start then with Chris. Shall we? Blink 182, Chris. A fan? This is surely from your genre. This is from where you were at university and bumming around.
Yeah, very much so. So I listened to Blink 182 for quite a long time while I was at uni. I haven't listened to them so much since. I think I kind of stopped around the time they lost one of the band members, who thankfully is now back as part of this album. But yeah, so I mean, if you like Blink 182, you'll like this album. It is standard Blink fare. It's nice to hear the trio reunited again. There's some quite reflective songs on the album, so things like One More Time, You Don't Know What You've Got. I think it's kind of their looking back over the time they had in the past. Now they've got back together and they're working together again. I think it's just they're looking back on things and they're feeling each other out again and understanding where they are now in their life and being able to move forward. So yeah, it's a good album. I wouldn't say it's a great album. There are better Blink 182 albums out there, but you know, as I say, they're just getting back together. They're just feeling each other out again. We've got to figure out how they're going to go from there.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, very much so. But again, as a Blink 182 album, they've done better in the past. So yeah, it's an enjoyable album. Definitely good to listen to. Better than others this month. We'll see.
Trish, let's go to you then. What did you think of Blink 182?
I like Blink 182 from what I've listened to them, sort of played on the radio and stuff, but I've not enough to download any of the albums in the past to my music. But that being said, this is Blink 182 doing what they do best. They haven't changed their bread and butter sound and tried to go off in a different direction that doesn't always work, which we have seen with the three previous bands we have reviewed. Blink 182, blah, blah, blah. Blink 182 have stuck to their roots. This is a feel-good album with songs like Edging, Fell in Love, Blink Love. Whilst listening to this album, I realised why I've not downloaded any of their music. And it's because I find a lot of the songs sound the same, a bit repetitive for me. But all in all, it's still a good album, though, for Blink 182 fans.
Cool. Dave! Talk to me, Dave. This is surely your territory here.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would agree with you. I mean, I like a lot of their hits and their songs that they're well known for. But for the most part, I never really got into them because I did find there was a certain immaturity to a lot of their previous stuff. This actually I found was a bit different, though, because as Chris mentioned, you've got songs like One More Time, which were a lot more reflective. And I mean, there was a whole bit in there where they're talking about the illness, because I believe one of them's recently recovered from cancer, and talking about the plane crash that the drummer was involved in and stuff. So it seems like, you know, they're reflecting on the fact that arguments they've had in the past between the members of the band, you know, in the grand scheme of things, probably aren't that important when, you know, you remember you started out as friends and that's, you know, how you'd like to continue going on. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, it's okay. Nothing special. I mean, you know, it's enjoyable. You can listen to it. Blink 182 fans will enjoy it, but I mean, it's not, you know, something that's stand out, to be honest.
Now, somebody that's always stand out, Ian. Let's hear your dulcet tones on the mighty Blink 182.
Bless you, bless you. Speaking of dulcet tones, I think you're doing a cracking job. Seeing you got cold and all that, and you sound wonderful, sir. Absolutely wonderful. Blink 182, One More Time. Well, I hope it's more than one more time. I really love this. I love that whole sort of. Am I right with the punky rock indie feel back in the day? Is that the right genre for it? There were quite a few bands sort of in there. I'm not going to mention them because I'm pretty sure it's quite apparent who they are. But I found this feel good. I found it nostalgic. I found it. There was a newish feel to it as well. I think the blend of what Chris and what Dave were saying was that, yeah, there was definitely a different feel to this, and they do have a very identifiable sound. I think it's the same as bands like Coldplay. You either love it or you hate it. It's Marmite, isn't it? I really love Terrified, One More Time, Blink Wave. I thought that was a really nice electro-punk feel to it as well, which was cracking. And Bad News. It was a really good song, very sensitively written, I thought. My only sort of issue with it was the masturbation quote at the beginning of Dance With Me. That takes you back a little bit. It was a bit strange. But all in all, it was good, honest Blink 182.
Yeah, for me, I don't particularly like punk rock. I can't take it. It's a little bit hit and miss for me. And this was a miss. It was very generic. And I didn't know enough of the history to kind of get immersed into some of the nostalgic lyrics in there. I missed the whole Blink 182 in the early noughties. It just didn't do anything for me. It was okay. It was very, very kind of middle of the road for me. Without really, there was just nothing stand out on that album for me. I just found it incredibly middle of the road and quite bland, really. It was what it was. I think, and I agree, I think Blink 182 fans will absolutely love it. So, yeah, pretty good. Okay, Rolling Stones and Hackney Diamonds. Trish, let's kick off with you on this one then, because really, Rolling Stones, certainly from our era, did this take you back? Was it something new? Talk to me.
I mean, this album had a great opening track with Angry. It's upbeat, fun, and distinct Rolling Stones sound in the guitars. I absolutely love the track Whole Wide World. That really hit my sweet spot. This album is a nice album. It's easy to listen to and have on in the background. It's got some fun tracks and some chill blues rock tracks. I like it to listen to, but not enough for me to have it as a download to my music. But that's my personal taste. And there's no denying it's a good, solid offering from the Stones.
Dave, ever been a Rolling Stones fan?
Yeah, I don't mind the Rolling Stones. I've got to admit, though, when I saw this album on the list, I was kind of dreading listening to it because we've had a lot of albums that we've listened to from acts that are in their golden years, shall we say, and they've just not performed at all because, I mean, you know, age catches up with everybody. But this was brilliant. I really, really, really enjoyed this. The opening track is a banger. It's one that's definitely in the playlist. Throughout, I really, really enjoyed this. It's got a certain energy that some bands sort of half their age would, you know, be lucky to have, to be fair. There's some great guest appearances. The Lady Gaga one I really enjoyed, which I didn't think I was going to. But yeah, I mean, this is one that I think I may actually go out and buy because, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this.
Ian, now come on for this. Rolling Stones, back from our era. What did you think, my friend?
Well, it's the age-old question with music, and it tends. I don't know where it came from, but it's kind of stuck. Is Rolling Stones or Beatles, isn't it? It's one or the other, and Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question, but oh my God, there's so many other great bands as well. I think we're talking in terms of influence to the musical genre in general, I think, and what they brought to it over their careers. And I've always been Rolling Stones over the Beatles. But this Hackney Diamonds, well, I grew up in North London, so I'm a Winchmore Hill Southgate diamond, if you like. So I'm not a million miles from them. So I thought this was both classic and new. And I think that's really hard to do, especially when you've got a combined age of 4,963. I think it's it's really hard to do. It was good, honest Stones. I thought the vocals were still fantastic. I don't know how much has been done in production, what he sounds like live, but certainly on this album, I really enjoyed listening to his voice. And I don't think I've enjoyed listening to his voice as much on previous albums. He's had that, that's much more relaxed and toned down now. And I thought the whole sound is great. Everyone sounds great playing on it, and it's a brilliant album. It sounds like it's been produced by people half their age and probably less. It's got so good. I mean, I thought it was a genius stroke as well to sponsor the El Clasico match in Spain, the Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Just before the cruise we went on, we were staying in a hotel. They had a 250-inch screen. It was enormous in the thing. And it was absolutely full watching El Clasico. And, of course, great bit of PR from them. And they played a few tracks. And it was very well received in Spain as well. So I thought I'd drop that in. I really like Angry, the opening track. Brilliant opener. Depending on You. I loved the guest artists. They were on for talent and to add to the value, not just to name drop. I mean, the Stones don't need to name drop, do they? Let's face it. And I agree. I love the Elton John and the Gaga appearances. Fantastic album. I thought absolutely brilliant. It was good, honest, awesome Stones.
Chris, Rolling Stones. You're on mute again.
Hey, look, I'm just following the lead that you set before. But yeah, so I grew up listening to the Stones because my parents, my mum especially, listened to them. My dad was Beatles, and my mum was the Stones, so that marriage can definitely happen. This album is, pure Rolling Stones. If you like the Rolling Stones, you'll like it. If you don't like Rolling Stones, you'll probably like it anyway. Because I don't know many people that do not like the Rolling Stones. Whether they accept them or love them. That's generally the way it goes. I accept them, unfortunately. I think some of the stuff that people have been saying, it sounds like it's been produced by people half their age because the producers probably are half their age and they've been doing a fair amount of the lifting for it. You can definitely tell that there's some stuff versus some of their older music. The producers are more involved and tidying things up as they go. So having said that, like you're saying, all the I think there's either 3 or 4, I think, songs that have got the guests in there. So Paul McCartney's bass in Bite My Head Off, and then Lady Gaga and Stevie Wonder are in there as well. So the guest appearances are great. Rolling Stone Blues, the last track, feels like an odd track to end on, just because it kind of, if you'd stopped to start a song sooner, I don't think you'd be missing much. But that's what they chose to do. They've been doing it far longer than I have in terms of releasing albums because I haven't done one yet. But yeah, so it's it's a solid album. It's a good album if you like Rolling Stones. You'll love this. But personally, for me, so I've got certain Stones songs that I have in my playlist. Things like Painted Black and a few others. There's nothing from this that is going into that playlist for me to listen to again. I don't think. It just nothing particularly hit home as that has to go in. The guest appearances will probably fall into one of my other playlists, but there isn't anything that's going to go in there as I need to listen to this from Stones again. So just the way it goes.
Yeah. So I'm kind of along with Dave on this one as well, because I was not expecting to like this based on previous big massive bands of this age. I was expecting, it's probably just going to be all right, but I just thought it was a terrific album. And at one point, I really hated the duet with Lady Gaga, because I just didn't think it was Mick Jagger playing. But I've watched it again on YouTube, and I've watched it several times, and it's really grown on me. Actually, it is Mick singing, and and I like the fact that Lady Gaga is very much just a back singer. She doesn't dominate the song. She's just a back singer, really, and lends to it very, very well. I really like Whole Wide World. I love Dreamy Skies. I thought they were terrific. Overall, this was a genuinely brilliant surprise. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed the album, and I'm definitely going back to it. I'm a big Stones fan, much better than the Beatles, 100%. I'm with you on that as well. Not to say the Beatles are bad, by the way. I just like more of Rolling Stones songs than I do of the Beatles songs, really. Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, let's find out, shall we, what we think, who is going to win this battle. Blink 182, Chris.
3.5 for me.
Trish.
3.
Dave.
3.
Ian.
I gave it 4.
I give it 2.5 from me. So we're looking at 9.5, 10, 12, 16. Solid
Not
score.
bad.
Solid score.
Not
Top
bad.
100, probably, maybe. I've done quite a lot of album reviews. Okay, Rolling Stones. Trish.
3.5.
So you're going to buy the Rolling Stones. Dave.
4.5 and Beatles over the Stones all day, every day.
Correct answer, Dave.
Well done. Ian.
5 for me.
5!
I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
wow.
definitely 5.
Absolutely brilliant. Chris.
Definitely.
2.5 for me.
Oh, boo, boo, boo. So 4.5 from me as well. It was a 4, then I listened to that duet with Lady Gaga again several times, and it was like, because I didn't like it at first, so I knocked it down a half, but the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. So this could be a whopping score. This is 9, 14, 14, 17.5. It's done it. I've done it. 20. I'm going to count that again. 9.5, 12, 13, 15.5, 20.5. It's gone into our Hall of Fame, everybody. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Rolling Stones, probably the first really big band that has made our Hall of Fame. So it's a cracking album. Well done, Rolling Stones. I mean, they're going to be tuning into this with, rapt excitement.
Oh, yeah.
No, of course.
I'm sure they'll be chomping at the door to do an interview
Yeah,
with
well,
us.
Mick Dick texted me. He texted me and said, hope we make it. And I said, well, it's not in my hands, mate. But you never know, Mick. I said, you never know. So, but there we go.
Nigel, can I just put a little bit of context? Really, the story I was saying about the El Clasico was it was played at Barcelona and I was staying in Barcelona. That was the point I made. That's otherwise.
I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay, so actually it was 20, so they just scraped into the Hall of Fame. 20, it was dead on 20. So well done. Congratulations to the Rolling Stones. And without any shadow of a doubt, I'm going to buy Rolling Stones. Trish, Dave, Chris will buy Blink 182, and because he has no taste, and Ian would also buy Rolling Stones. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. If you like what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you very much. Hey, do you agree with what we said? Please leave your comments. Disagree? Do you leave your comments as well? And thank you to my crew. Thank you to Ian, to Dave, to Trish, and to Chris. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And keep on rocking out there. Goodbye.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. We're rocking.